Are you still using those phone mounts on the vents on your 10-year-old vehicle because you don't have wireless CarPlay or Android Auto? Well, we have the solution. Let's bring your car back forward to 2026. We have a solution here, which is the factory screen replacement from the 7-inch to a large, beautiful looking 10.25-inch. This will utilize the whole entire space that your dash has in this Lexus IS while retaining all the factory controls, and of course you'll retain the use of your factory backup camera because you got to make sure you see what's behind you. And it also has some other features where you can add a front camera to it. It even allows you to mirror your phone screen to your car screen so you have some entertainment on the road as well. And as a side note, this product here is still prototype, but we are very close in getting this released. So it's gonna be very similar, but I'm gonna show you how to install this version right now. Let me walk you through the steps. Let's go inside the car and let's get the installation started. All right, before we go inside the car, let's get this bracket mounted on the new screen. Most likely it's going to be bolted on already, but just in case we end up not bolting it for any reason, let me just show you how this thing goes. All right, we're inside the car. This is how the car originally looks in this 2014 to 2016 Lexus IS. Looks super cool, but you look at this center area here and it just has this dinky screen, right? Very outdated. And for these old cars, these screens are very prone to scratches. But when you're driving, you have the sun shining at it and it could cause a lot of obstruction when you're trying to see the maps. So for all of you Lexus IS owners from this generation, what they typically do is just use a phone mount like this, and there it is. That's the solution. But today we're gonna get rid of this and we're gonna add a really nice 10.25-inch screen that just have it all. So let's show you how it's done. All right, let's start taking the panels apart. First thing you want to do is remove this shift knob. Just pull down on the shift boot and just turn this shift knob counterclockwise. And next, we're going to remove these two panels here. Use a panel removal tool, preferably a plastic one so you don't damage your interior. All right, next we're going to use a Phillips screwdriver to remove two Phillips screws on both sides of this panel. This car's already missing one over here, so we're only gonna remove this. All right, so one thing you guys should really focus on is keeping your screws organized. And how I like to do it is when I remove this, I just drop it right where it came out, like right here. You could have those little magnetic trays, you could leave them in there. If not, you could leave it there. Just make sure there's no other people going in and out of your car while you're working in your car, then you'll be just fine. Next, let's pull this out. We don't need any special tools. Place your finger back here and just pull out. And always follow the direction of the clips. All these clips are facing outwards, so you gotta pull it outwards. If you pull in any other directions, you will break it. All right guys, pay attention, this is very crucial. There's actually one more screw. If you look straight in here, there's that empty hole. We already removed it, but for you, it's gonna be there. So make sure that screw is also removed. Pay attention, this is very crucial. Let's make sure the e-brake is engaged. All right, the reason why we want the e-brake on is because we're gonna forcefully change the gears in order to get this panel out smoothly. And just in case your car is parked at an incline, we don't want your car rolling as soon as you change the gear because your car is gonna be off. Raise up the armrest and we're gonna pull this piece here. Grab a firm hold of this, just pull it up and carefully slide this out. Push down on the connector and release. Next, we will change the gears. There's two ways to do this. One way is pop open this, press down on the lever and pull it down, or you can use one of your other fingers here. Feel out the release. It's right under. Just press down your finger and you could easily change your gear. And you're gonna bring it down to about neutral and then grab a hold of this panel very firmly. We're gonna pull it up. We'll remove this connector, and there's also two more connectors back here that we will remove. All right guys, pay attention. Make sure you don't skip this step in order to not damage your interior. Use a really thick towel like what you see over here. You could even use a bath towel or an old sweater that you don't really care about, and just place it right here, right between the shifter and the radio. Okay, once you do that, let's remove these 4 10mm bolts. We got 2 on the side and 2 on the bottom. Once all those 4 10mm bolts are out, grab a firm hold of your radio, pull it straight out towards you. And once the radio is out, we're gonna pull these climate control panel right above it. Next, let's work on the screen. First, we want to remove this panel piece here. Just grab your panel removal tool, and that exposes 2 10mm bolts. And we're going to remove that. Grab a hold of the screen from the back here and just pull it forward. There's 2 connectors here. Let's remove them. All right, so we got the factory radio out, and you could just see how cheap this is. Half of the screen is all scrambled scratched up. And most likely, like if your car is 10 years old, you're gonna have something similar to this. All right, to make the wire routing easier, let's remove this panel. Just grab a hold of this, pull it out, very easy. So let's first route this cable here. Okay, this is our main harness. And let's connect this big fat connector first. All right, guys, make sure you do this because it's super, super important and it could save you thousands of dollars. And before you guys pull this out, if you guys just came from a drive, make sure you let your car sit for 10 minutes before you unplug anything. Or better yet, after a drive, let your car sit for 10 minutes and then disconnect the negative terminal on the car's battery. If you end up disconnecting the negative terminal on your car's battery before the 10 minutes, you can risk breaking your system. It's because after every single drive, Lexus actually downloads all the driving data that it gathered during your last drive. And during that downloading process, if you disconnect your battery or disconnect this, then it could cut off the downloading feature and it could possibly break your infotainment system. So be very, very careful about that. So just remember, 10 minutes wait before you unplug this or before you disconnect your negative terminal on the car's battery. So going back to the factory radio, grab your panel removal tool and there's a little lever here. You're gonna push down the lever and then just pull it out. Let's also remove the other connector for your auxiliary. And grabbing our main big harness, connect it here. It's all plug and play. Same thing for the other side. Pop this in to the factory radio. And the other connector is our auxiliary connector. And let's connect the cable side from the car to our harness and our harness to the radio. All right, so for the next step, make sure you guys are really paying attention to this. It could get pretty frustrating if you have a hard time routing this cable up to the screen. So we're gonna go towards the glove box and loop up and come out of there. I'm gonna try all that without removing the glove box. We'll see how successful we are. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna grab some tape and we're gonna tape this other wire that we wanna route to this main harness so that it'll naturally just pull the other wires up. All right, so one important thing to remember while you're routing cables, be very patient, take your time. Don't just yank on it because the last thing you want to do is damage these wires. And behind the radio, there could be sharp edges from the brackets. And if it get caught on it, you just like yank it, it could rip it up. So you don't want that to happen. So be very careful. Now what's left is to route this cable here. Okay, and this one has the microphone input and auxiliary out. So this one, let me try it without the tape. This USB is for any wire connection you want to make from your phone, or if you want to load some USB with some media devices, you can also put it here and play it through the new infotainment system. All right, so we got everything routed. Let's connect these two 3.5mm jack. Mic in will be mic. NV17 audio, which will go to auxiliary out. And just triple check to make sure you guys connect to the right source. If you were to mismatch these connections, you're just gonna hear a lot of static. You're not gonna hear any audio. So don't make this mistake because it can ruin your experience. All we have to do is connect the new screen to it and mount it. But before we do that, let's clean up this area a little bit. Let me organize this and push the radio back in, put the climate control back in. And once I tidy this area up, we'll continue on with the screen. All right, before I mount this new screen, I just want to give you a quick comparison. The new screen utilizes the whole entire real estate that's available, whereas the factory one only utilizes 7" of it. And if you look at the back of this, it's all plug and play. But one thing that you do have to do is transfer over these clips to the new radio. So let's pop these off and place it on the new screen. The dip switch configuration is going to be pre-configured for you, so make sure you don't touch it. If you do end up touching it, we'll have information in the instruction manual, the correct dip switch setting for this. And you'll notice that on the harness itself, it has a front camera in. So you could connect our front camera into this. It's also gonna have a backup camera input. And we're also going to be insulating these wires that we're not gonna be using. It's very important to do so because some of these wires have live 12 volt going through. And if you don't insulate it and it touches any metal parts in your car, you could short the radio or you can short the whole entire car ECU. So we'll flip over the screen and let's start off with the big connector first and make sure you push it down all the way until you hear that snap. We have this one here and these two remaining connectors will connect directly to the factory connectors up here. But because this one's a prototype, we have a harness here that goes in between, but for your version you won't have this and it's totally fine. Once it's in here, we'll reinstall the factory bolts that was holding the screen in place. And once again, make sure you grab the correct bolts. Let's grab this cover and just pop it in. All right, and before we go any further, this is a great time to make sure everything is working, to make sure your screen is in working order. Let's connect our joystick controller. We're just gonna press the start button once to ACC. If you hear that beeping noise, grab the shift lever, put it back to park. All right, looks good. Sweet. All right, let me turn off the car and let me finish my full installation and I'll give you guys a rundown. All right, we just finished installing our screen replacement to this 2014 to 2016 Lexus IS model. It also works with the Lexus RC as well. So let's first turn on the car. And there it is, that's the home menu. Our phone is already connected to the device wirelessly, CarPlay. So as soon as the phone makes that connection, it will load the CarPlay automatically. If you have an Android device, it'll show the Android auto screen automatically as well. And there's different ways to navigate through this. You can use the touchscreen, change the pages. And if you want to use the factory controls here, definitely you can. You'll see a pink cursor. And let's play some music. That's our little volume indicator, volume bar showing up above. And you can also utilize these arrows here as track up and also track down. And if you want to go back to the factory infotainment system, you can press and hold the home button and it'll switch the screen over to the factory native Lexus screen. When you want to go back to our S Connect screen, push and hold the home button. And if you want to just tap on the home button, it'll take you back to our user interface. And in our user interface, we have a lot of different functions here. We have CarPlay, Android Auto. And if you want to utilize the phone's AirPlay function, you definitely can do so to mirror your phone onto the screen. Okay, to show you how the factory backup camera works. Okay, put it into reverse gear. There's your reverse camera. Put it back into park. Take you back to either the CarPlay screen or whatever screen you were on before you went into reverse gear. Steering wheel controls are all retained as well. And if you want to summon Siri, you can also summon Siri from the steering wheel by pressing and holding the phone call pickup button as well. What is the weather?
It's currently clear and 75 degrees.
And one thing that you notice, the volume you saw right now is actually the phone call volume. Pressing this button here will summon Siri from our system, which has a 0 volume right now. What is the weather right now? See? So it has its own independent volume. All right, so let me now show you how the screen mirroring works. So we're gonna get out of this menu, go to car home, go to settings, go to smartphone, go to smartphone list, and we're gonna turn on the AirPlay function all the way in the bottom. And then go to your phone and go to settings. And you wanna make sure you're connected to your car Wi-Fi under Wi-Fi. It's connected right now. And use the drop down, select the screen mirroring, select AirPlay. So if you go straight into here and you try playing some video, you're gonna notice that you won't hear any audio. For the audio, it's not working because it's currently set to Bluetooth audio. We need to switch it to auxiliary. So you can cycle through by pressing the media button.
Yes! Hey, I just got my license!
Hey, I'm getting mine next.
Hey, I doubt it!
All right, and then if you wanna go back, to CarPlay, all you have to do is press home. We'll go back to our UI here, user interface, go to settings, go to smartphone, smartphone list, and let's turn CarPlay back on. And there it is. So that you go back to whatever music you were listening to. And once again, you don't hear it. You do have to cycle through the media button back to your factory Bluetooth. There it is. That's simple. So we took a quick minute to connect our makeshift camera here just to simulate our front camera experience, to let you know how it works, how to see the front camera. You'll tap on the home button here, go to our user interface and press on the camera button, and that will show the camera right here. And another way to show the camera is go to our setup, go to car settings and reversing settings. You can turn it on. The front view time, right now it's at 0. So if you set it to like 7 seconds, for example, and you put your car into reverse gear, every time you get out of it, it'll show the front camera for whatever duration you set at. Right now it's at 7 seconds, and after those 7 seconds, it'll go back to the screen that you were at before. Alright guys, well that concludes our installation demonstration of our new screen replacement for this Lexus IS. For all of you guys, you have this car with a small screen. It's time to ditch your phone holder. Let's change your factory screen. Let's make it look good. Let's get wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto into your factory infotainment system and bring your car back to 2026 where it is relevant, and let's just enjoy your car because your car has a lot more years ahead of it. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't yet, help our channel, hit that subscribe button and also that like. It'll really help us out. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below. And if you're interested in getting on the wait list for this, go ahead and email us at info@bsonicusa.com and you'll be the first one to know when the product is officially out. Thank you very much and we'll see you guys on the next video.